No, New Wave Toys, why do you keep doing this to me? Okay, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I got myself another of the New Wave Toys little Replicade machines. This is Ghouls and Ghosts. At least I really hope it is Ghouls and Ghosts. Story about that in a second. I would normally do all the unboxing and tell you about all these things in stages. Right now I'm just going to open this thing up because this is something that I want to just double check. So the story here is I didn't want... Good Lord, I didn't want Missile Command, I didn't want 1942. I ended up getting them because they were on sale. I didn't want Ghouls and Ghosts for kind of the same reason as 1942. It's a game I can play with my phone. It's just a joystick and buttons. So, it kind of annoyed me that this was another joystick and buttons game. So when it first came out, no interest at all. But I have since got the 1942. I got Berserk recently. That was another one that at first I thought, nah, maybe not. So, but the difference is now, since I have these little arcade machines, I'm thinking I want to build up the backlog. I want to have a little arcade, right? So I want to have machines that I can use. So this thing came up. They had this a year ago or so. And New Wave Toys, I guess they had some old stock or something like that. Story about that in a second. I wanted to find out, okay, you know what? They've got them on sale. Sorry, not on sale. They were very expensive. But it was a limited stock thing. I bought it right away, and lo and behold, now I've got it. But when it first came out, there was both Ghouls and Ghosts, which I really hope is in here, and Ghosts and Goblins, which is the older game. And it looked a bit dopey. I didn't like the look of the Ghosts and Goblins machine, the purple cabinet and the dumb-looking marquee. I was just like, no thank you. Of the two, it would be Ghouls and Ghosts. And then they sold out, and that's fine. Now they've got these back, and it's only Ghouls and Ghosts. At least I sure as heck hope so. Let's open this up. If this is Ghosts and Goblins with the purple cabinet, and just for some reason they've packaged it wrong, I'm going to be a bit mad. So, moment of truth here. The big reveal, please don't be Ghosts and Goblins. Please be Ghouls and Ghosts. Ta-da! Yes, it is Ghouls and Ghosts. Okay, thank God for that. All right, that's first hurdle covered. Now, when I did my Berserk, I had a real problem. Berserk came with a little front panel thing. You could put like a lock bar, and it had a kick plate and all that kind of stuff. But when I opened my first one, yes, my first one, it was missing those parts. And then I didn't think that was that big of a deal. Wanted just the cabinet itself. And when I started playing it, it was fine for a few days. But then it stopped working. I actually got in touch with customer service for New Wave Toys and said, hey, my Berserk is starting to just go on its own. So they replaced it free of charge. Great stuff. No charge in shipping. I was very happy with my experience with New Wave Toys customer support. Thank you for that. But it's made me a little gun shy as to not so much their quality, but just like, am I getting somebody else's hand-me-down? Is this, because this Ghouls and Ghosts was actually out ages ago, is this actually old stock that's missing parts, or is it defective? I'm very concerned. So let's open it up and find out. I don't think this one doesn't have any lock bar or anything like that, but it should have extra ball tops and a few other bits and pieces. Let's just see. Okay, what is behind the foam? Big drum roll. Oh, hey, it looks like it's complete. Isn't it sad that I'm excited about that? Okay, we got the ball tops. We've even got a little fake power cord. My Berserk has that. And we've got coins. Okay, well, I'm happy so far. Good. That's a good sign. And let's take... Oh, there's the USB-C cable. Charge it up later. And here is Ghouls and Ghosts itself. And what I like about this one has a much nicer looking cabinet to it than the Ghosts and Goblins. Yes, here we go. A little bit closer now. Yeah, this one, I like the look of that more. I like how that's That's what I saw in the arcades, you know, black siding, not the silly purple thing that Ghosts and Goblins comes with. Now I hear a little rattling, but I think that's okay. I think that's, yes, that's the little lock, fake lock, padlock on the back. If I hold that, anything else rattling? No. Okay, so we're good on there. That's looking fine. Controls seem good. I'm maybe not thrilled with this white T molding, but you know, it is kind of growing on me. It's not too bad. And this also has the same thing that Berserk has, and what they tried starting with Missile Command. They've got a fake CRT lens inside there. So let's, of course, carefully remove the plastic covering. There we go. Very nice. There is Ghosts and Goblins. Sorry, Ghouls and Ghosts. From what I gather... Okay, buttons feel nice. From what I gather, Ghosts and Goblins was the first game, and it's a little bit not as refined. This is the one that we had in North America. This is Ghouls and Ghosts, and this is the sequel game, and this is just more refined, a little nicer. I did play Ghouls and Ghosts in the arcade. In fact, we've got a Dungeons and Dragons reference I'll go into later when I show you the gameplay. But my D&D buddies, we would sometimes say, it's like that video game with the guy with the armor, meaning Ghouls and Ghosts. We'll talk about that later. So, looking good. Is this, wait a minute. Is the coin door open? Yes, it does. And this time, I think Berserk does this too. We've got a little tray. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, so far, out of the gate, I am pleased. This looks new. It doesn't look like a used hand-me-down. It doesn't seem to be broken. At least not so far. So what I'm going to do... And it's from Capcom. Awesome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to charge this up, give an initial gameplay, but I want to make darn sure I don't run into the same problem I had with Berserk, where it stops working after a while. If so, I'm getting back in touch with New Wave Toys again. But let's, you know what, we've had a lot of wins so far. It is the machine I wanted, and it has arrived, and it seems to be with all of its parts. That's great. So let's charge it up and then try it out. Okay, well, that took a long time. This is the following day, and this thing took maybe 5 hours to charge until the light turned green on the top, so I'm a little bit worried about that, but regardless, let's fire it up, and I'm going to play it, but I'll do a couple of playthroughs. That's at least just, this is me turning it on for the first time. Let's see what we get. Hope for a light up marquee and everything else groovy. Yeah, I got it so that you can see the marquee there. Capcom logo looking good. ROM firing up. Okay, this is looking good. Yay. Well, it looks quite nice. The simulated CRT effect is not bad. Yeah, they've definitely made improvements ever since the Missile Command days. Now, let's see. I guess let's put in a coin. One thing that worried me, the front lights, it's not coming through in the camera, but this one is way brighter than this one. However, you know what? I'll accept that. That's not really critical. Ghouls and Ghosts. Okay. I do have nostalgia for this game. I do have memories associated with this game. And it will be interesting to just see what it's like to play it. As I say, there's a D&D reference here, which is kind of funny, which I will go to in a sec. Here's a track mode. Okay, not too bad. A little loud. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let me give it an inaugural playthrough here. This button doesn't seem to work. I think it's like it's jammed in or something. Luckily, I was able to push the other button. So I can get credits, but yeah, a little worried about that credit button at the front. You know what? Gonna move on. One player start, here we go. Now, how are we for movement? Okay, buttons both work. You can jump, you can crouch. The problem with this game is it's balls-orifically hard, so this is going to be not a lot of fun here. Can I shoot up? Yes, I can shoot up. Good. And there's the guy who, of course, turns me into a duck. Nice. Oh, I'm dead. All right. So it does work. Credit button's not great, but let's move on from that. Sound is good. Can I climb up? Ooh, yes, I can. I'm just trying to check out the buttons, you guys. Oh, hang on. There's that guy again. And he got me again. Good Lord. Yeah, that's the other thing with Ghouls and Ghosts. It's really, really hard. However, let's play through. And I'd like to just make sure. Yes, I can go up. And I know I've got the down. Okay. All right. Yeah, not too bad. Good Lord. All right, well, there we go. So that's me dead. All right, so game does work. Like I say, a little bit worried. This front button is... Maybe it's not so much as that it's jammed. I'm going to check a few online reviews. I think maybe because this whole design can take... This, I think, was the first machine where you could actually physically put in those little coins. And maybe that's why as I'm trying to push this thing, it's not doing anything. I'm not sure. I'm going to check. Is this always just the way to hit that button in order to put in a credit? We'll see. But that's cool. All right, now let's just play with some of the other features. So let's hit player 1 and 2. And we can switch. Okay, so this is Ghouls and Ghosts, and you can actually change it. I can't remember. Yeah. So let's try Ghosts and Goblins, the previous game. And it has rebooted Ghosts and Goblins. All right, let's put in a coin. 1 player. This one has a different kind of a sound to it. I think, although this one has sort of more of a... Oh, I don't want that weapon. Although this one has more of a, I don't know, like early style of... gameplay to it and graphics. I think I prefer the sound on this one, like the music and the sound effects. They sound a little more, I don't know, a little more cool. I'm very glad that this is not... Give me the armor! Give me the armor! Give me the armor! Oh, good Lord. Oh, I didn't get my armor. All right. Can I get it there? Nope. But I do like that power-up sound. Ah, geez, I'm dead anyway. Yeah, I like the power-up sound, and I think P-Dubs mentioned in his review of this thing, he prefers this attract mode, so I will try out both of those. But of the two, like, Ghouls and Ghosts is the game that I have the nostalgia for, not Ghosts and Goblins. And I think we're gonna die. The ball top's pretty good. P-Dubs also mentioned whenever he was playing his the first time that he found that this little knob thing here was coming off quite easily. I gotta admit, mine seems to be okay. Is it normal that that Arthur is supposed to stop whenever he's shooting? Is that a thing? I haven't played enough of Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins to know if that's a thing or not. Now let's go up. Whoa. Okay. That's not so bad. Come on. Yeah, the other reason I wasn't terribly thrilled to get this game was that it's so hard, and with a miniature little controller, like you really... As a mini cab, you know, to get a very challenging game for folks is mean. Ah. It was, you know, it's not too bad. So I prefer the music of the other game, but I like the sound effects of this one. Now here comes the wind, I think. Ooh. I can't shoot up? Apparently I can't shoot up. Alright. Well, there's game over. Okay, well, first impressions, yes. Oh, I get to put my name in, right on. So what I'm going to do, let me set this up a little bit better so I can have a proper playthrough of the two games here. Okay, so I've set the game up on something a little more solid so I can, you know, without it bouncing around too much. And I'm going to just give it a whirl, get my fingers on the triggers here. Going to start off with Ghosts and Goblins. Admittedly, I'm not... This attract mode is pretty good, but it's very noisy with all the music and stuff. I like the sound effects of Ghosts and Goblins. I prefer how Ghouls and Ghosts is a little more subtle and quiet. For attract mode, I mean, with a bunch of these all in a row, this is going to get very wordy very quick. Anyway, let's have a go of Ghosts and Goblins. I do like the sound effects of Ghosts and Goblins. I prefer the graphics of Ghouls and Ghosts. So let's give this a whirl here. And yes, Arthur does always stops whenever he's shooting. Don't know where I got the idea that he doesn't. Oh, you bastard. Okay, well, there we go. I'm off to a bad start. Again, these are hard games to play at the best of times, and to be doing it with a little tiny controller down here, this is asking for trouble. But it's a game I have nostalgia for, and it was, you know, as I say, keep away from the fire. Don't like that torch. Not a good weapon. It has a weird D&D connection, so I'm going to get to that in a second. Let's see if I can go up there. Avoid him. Good. And... Ah! Yeah, super hard game. Oh, look at that. So, yeah, not wild about how hard these games are, but they are a lot of fun, and they're classics. You know, these are Capcom major titles here. Come on, New Wave Toys, get in touch with Capcom about bringing Final Fight, will ya? I would love Final Fight. I guess we'll get there. What other major Capcom... Like, they've done Street Fighter already, and other than Final Fight, what other, like... And obviously Ghouls and Ghosts in 1942, which they've done... What other titles does Capcom have for the arcade? I mean, Gunsmoke? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to switch back over to Ghouls and Ghosts. And of course, you've got all these different controls here you can change. You can turn off and on the audio. You got a battery indicator, which is good. 1942 had that, I think, the first time. You can make scan lines. I might mess around with that in a second, but let's just change the game. I want to go back to Ghouls and Ghosts, please. Okay, and let's put in a quarter. And let's do Ghouls and Ghosts, the game that I played as a kid. Yeah, watch out for that. Watch out for that guy. Ha ha ha. Get the bird, get the bird, get the bird. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this one has just such a nicer song to it. I prefer the graphics. I prefer the bad guys I'm up against. Maybe not the guy... Ah, you bugger. Maybe not the guy in the chest, though. Because he's a pain in the butt. Get through there. Let's see if we can go down. Yep, okay. It's all working well. Ooh, do I want to go back? Yeah, let's go back. Good. similar. So, yeah, let me tell you the D&D story. You've all noticed by now, when Arthur gets hit first time, he loses his armor and is running around in nothing but his underwear. Like that. There is a point, and I haven't reached it yet, but there is a point where you can actually get your armor back. And I remember there was a D&D session where we actually ran into that. Down. Somebody came up with a magic item that would basically do that. Oh, you son of a... now I'm an old man! There was a magic item that my DM created, which was essentially magic armor that acted exactly like this. So I could be doing my, having my sleep by the campfire without my armor on, and then if I suddenly needed it, I could just grab one piece of the armor, and it would magically, like in this game, it would cause the armor to reappear on me. And I remember one of the guys around the D&D session was saying, "This is like that video game you guys are playing. You grab the thing and suddenly he's back in his armor." It's like, yeah, that's exactly what this is. So Ghouls and Ghosts has that D&D connection for me. It also has some really good nostalgia. I think of the two attract modes, I am going to leave it in Ghouls and Ghosts instead. This one here, because as you can hear, right now it's very, very quiet. I'll turn the volume up just a hair. It's very, very quiet right now, but there will be a row of machines this is sitting with, and I think just the occasional... It's a bit crunchy and, clangy, the sound effects in this attract mode, but at least it's silent most of the time. Here, well, okay. Here you go. Here's what the attract mode is like. Like, I like how that's kind of subtle. It's not overwhelming you like Ghosts and Goblins does with the constant music. Much prefer the sound effects of Ghosts and Goblins. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is just play the heck out of this thing for a while and make sure there's nothing defective about it, because I did run into that problem with Berserk. I will be back in touch. Well, that's it. It seems to be working okay. Here is Ghouls and Ghosts, and he's got some buddies. Got my other little New Wave Toys arcade machines all in a row here. Put 1942 kind of on the end because it's short and squat, kind of weird looking. Very happy with Ghouls and Ghosts. Very happy with my purchase, even through my little elevator action that I made. It's adding a little nice bit of ambiance to the whole crowd. So Ghouls and Ghosts. One thing that I will kind of complain about is. A guy who does a lot of these reviews, the therexershow, he actually did a whole deep dive into the New Wave Toys. Ghouls and Ghosts is bad. Changed my mind. And it wasn't that he was making a complaint about this game per se. What he was basically saying was it's got, right down here, an 8-way joystick. And the game should only have a 4-way joystick. Yes, in the... Killer List of Video Games website, they mentioned that it's a 8-way, but he actually pulled up from the owner's manual. It was a 4-way, and I'm feeling that. Whenever I play Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, with this particular joystick, I am finding it's the guy, Arthur's crouching too much. It's sometimes hard to turn around and shoot and do all the things you need to do in order for this game to work. So New Wave Toys made a command decision there. They went with the 8-way, and it is problematic. But you know what? It's already a really, really tough game, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. Pretty happy. The other thing that I'm actually pretty happy with this purchase, the reason I got this, and the reason why I said at the beginning of the video, New Wave Toys, you keep doing this to me. I mentioned before, I didn't want 1942. I didn't want Missile Command. There were a lot of these titles that I wasn't really interested in because they can be played on my phone, just like Ghouls and Ghosts. You've got the controls right there. That's easy to replicate with an emulator on a phone. So, not too thrilled. But what you're looking at is actually the reason why I got Ghouls and Ghosts. A, it's got the nostalgia. You know, I do have those Dungeons and Dragons memories attached to it. But B, it actually nicely fills up, and this is where 1942 has a problem. Ghouls and Ghosts actually has a nice way of lining up with all these other machines and giving that arcade look, that vibe, that kind of all these machines in a row type of thing, you know? And it's neat to be able to just see all of these machines doing their thing, all of these machines that I did play as a kid, now all in a nice little row. So I do like the fact that the Ghouls and Ghosts cabinet has the right kind of height, like compared to Berserk and Asteroids, like they all nicely go in a row there, and even my little elevator action, it'll sufficiently line up with these guys. I do like the fact that Ghouls and Ghosts makes it hugs inside these other machines very, very nicely, and is something that I will definitely want to play. It has nostalgia for me. It has a lot of memories for me, and now, what is that, 6 machines, including elevator action. Now I've got 6 of them with 1942. Pretty good. I had said when I got Berserk that was it. I'm done with New Wave toys. I'm not getting these anymore because at the glacial pace that they're releasing this stuff, it's just taking too long. Then they go and throw that Ghouls and Ghosts on as a limited stock sale. Fine, you got me, because I want this. I want this little lineup of arcade machines, and now I've got it. But also, there have been a couple of rumors of upcoming titles, maybe, that I'm kind of like, oh, dang, I thought I was done with New Wave Toys. No, there's potentially, according to the way New Wave Toys does their business, they actually show a silhouette of upcoming cabinets that they might be doing. And although the next one appears to be, well, we've heard from Shiloh himself that the next game is going to be a Laserdisc game. Gotta be Dragon's Lair 2, which I have zero interest in, so that's fine. And they still have a big backlog of other stuff. Their pinball machines, their Golden Tea still coming, and Crystal Castles, do not care about those. So I don't think I'll be getting any more of these things anytime soon. But having said that, there are a couple of rumored silhouettes that might change my mind. There's potentially Marble Madness. I mean, it's a specific cabinet style. And the only other ones people can speculate on that this might be is maybe Indiana Jones, but surely that's got some licensing trouble. Marble Madness, heck yes, I would do that. Here is Missile Command with its troublesome trackball. It's okay, certainly not Marble Madness capable, but New Wave Toys did partner with Glenn's Retro Show, and now they have a really good trackball. Hence, they've got the Golden Tea, hence they've got Crystal Castles coming. So if they can do that with Marble Madness, yes, count me interested. I am on board. And the other potential one that I've seen a silhouette done for is Asteroids Deluxe. Now, I love Asteroids. This is the machine that got me on board the bandwagon for New Wave Toys to begin with. This is a game that I have nostalgia for. This is a game that I love. I always thought, like, if you've got Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins in here, if you've got Berserk and Frenzy in here, why did you not put Asteroids and Asteroids Deluxe in here? But maybe because of the weird mirror effect way of displaying the screen, maybe New Wave Toys, because the silhouette looks correct, maybe they're going to do Asteroids Deluxe with some kind of a mirror solution. I am very, very much on board if they do. But that's years down the road, I think, unless they speed up production. Anyway, this is my little arcade so far. I've got other machines I've mentioned before. I got the Space Invaders from my arcade. I've also got the Street Fighter. You fire all these guys up together with their track mode, they're making quite a lot of noise. But there are new machines coming. I see that my arcade now has a pole position, and it's available for pre-order by the time you see this video. Maybe it's available to buy. That's going to go under the Christmas telescope for me, so that'll be a Christmas time thing. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more machines coming up, and some of them will be New Wave Toys, maybe. Some of them will be others. I'm going to leave it there. I am quite happy with Ghouls and Ghosts. This is a machine that I enjoyed a lot as a kid, and now I can enjoy it as an adult. And don't forget, there's always that Dungeons & Dragons connection as well for us. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.